Affairs.
Thank you very much, Dwight. And let me start off by acknowledging my colleague, the Minister for Broadcasting, the Reverend gentlemen who are here, and Diana, the Chair and General Manager and Directors, and all of you who are gathered here on this occasion this afternoon, with apologies because I have to leave right afterwards for another assignment. The thing that struck me about the death of Darold Miller is the same thing that struck me the morning that I got the news that Obie Wilshcombe had died. And I thought, first thing I said when they called me was, Obie who? Yeah. Yeah. And the same thing with Darold. I said, Darold who? Yeah. Because, truth be told, I should be burying them, not them burying me. I often tell the story that when I was born in 1953, the life expectancy at birth of a male child in the Bahamas was 50 years of age. So right now, I've gone beyond my expiry date by 21 years. So I keep saying to those of you who have longer in front of you than I do, that anytime I'll be gone. And one of the roles I have in this context is to supply the context behind which the present has now evolved. There's a tendency in our country to think that history began the day you were born. And of course, it didn't go like that. In order to get here, a lot of people had to sacrifice in order for us to be where we are today. I came to the Broadcasting Corporation for 2 years, 1977 to 1979. I was appointed in August of 1978 as the Director of News and Public Affairs of the corporation. I'd been asked to come here in 1977 for the visit of Her Majesty the Queen, who opened the Broadcasting Corporation, this building that's here, and to provide, again, the context of the visit. She had come to do the state opening of Parliament. I developed a philosophy, and that philosophy still exists today, that people are supposed to have the ability to advance in life, not because of family, not because of connections, or any of those things, but on their own abilities. So as Director of News, I was reading the newspaper one day, and there was this article written by Darold Miller in the Nassau Guardian, where he was a sports reporter. And what I really enjoyed about the article was the fact that he filled the article with context. And that seemed to me to be an indispensable element to being a journalist, to remember how things got to where they are. It became easier because he was the younger brother of my good friend, Philip Miller, who later became the permanent secretary. And I met him at his mother's house shortly thereafter, invited him to come and work here at the corporation. I left the corporation in 1979, and when I had returned to the Bahamas and took up my assignment again in the Bahamas Information Services, Darold Miller had transformed himself into a brand that was unrecognizable from where I had left him. And I can say, adding to all of the plaudits that have been given here this afternoon, that in 2002, talk radio was what drove the general election. And at that time, Darold Miller, I think, was responsible for shifting the paradigm and creating talk radio as the important influence on the general election. You've mentioned all of the catchphrases that he used. So I won't repeat those except one. My client was executed shortly before, I guess, the 2000. And there was a huge crowd outside the prison. and he was doing live commentary. Right, and he was giving us all the fine details of how you hang someone, whether you were heavy or whether you were light. And he said, so the only question this morning is whether it's going to be a long drop or a short drop. And I thought to myself, this man is unrecognizable. But the crowd loved it, and they ate it up. So I remember him with great fondness. And he's more than exceeded the expectations I had when he came to start working here all those many years ago. There's an expression in a song, and it says, don't it always seem to be that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? And that's the expression that Clint Watson talked about. The general election commentary will be missing an important voice, and that voice is Darold Miller. So on behalf of my family, to Roe and to Philip, Sammy is Sammy here? Yeah, Sammy's here. Oscar is here, is he here? Okay. Hi, Oscar. Yeah. So I want to extend condolences to you on his passing, and I want to say untimely passing, because it really took all of us, I assure you, by surprise. And he seemed indefatigable, irrepressible, always moving forward. And we will certainly miss him. So God bless him on his way, and may he rest in peace.